us there, and we'll be speaking to him later for the latest. Now, the World Health Organization says an experimental Ebola vaccine could be a game changer in the fight against the virus. The WHO says the vaccine has so far been 100% effective in testing on 4,000 Ghanaians who'd been in close contact with the virus. Now, Ebola is spread quickly by contact with blood or bodily fluids, and it kills between 50 to 90% of those infected. The most recent outbreak in West Africa started in Guinea, and it very quickly spread to neighbouring Sierra Leone and Liberia. More than 11,000 people died and have died since March of last year. Well, I'm joined now from New York by Rossi Hassad. He's a professor at Mercy College and a member of the American College of Epidemiology. Thank you for joining us. What's your reaction to this news?
Thank you. Well, it's great news and a clear potential for a breakthrough. It's the best scientific evidence we have had so far to support any of the candidate vaccines. It is preliminary, however. There are a few more steps to go before we can claim full success with a vaccine.
Professor Hassad, a little bit of clarity for me. What are we looking at? Is this preventative or a cure?
It's prevention. This would be for those who are not infected. This is not a cure. This is a prevention. Okay,
so let's just say it does go forward. How would it be rolled out? Who would get this vaccine?
Well, the very first challenge will be production. If this vaccine were to go into production today, large-scale production, it will take a few months, maybe 2 to 3 months, to really get the numbers that we need. And then there are concerns about storage, qualified personnel for administration, monitoring patients in the short term, and of course the costs. And my greatest concern in that regard is that we are getting a vaccine, or close to having a vaccine, at a time when the epidemic is waning. And so one wonders if the commitment from the various international and local agencies and governments would continue.
Okay.
But I heard that the World Health Organization is committed to lobbying in that regard.
Okay, there's 2 points there that I want to follow up. One, timescales, and the other was your test pool. Let's start off with the timescales. How have they managed to turn this around in 12 months when the development of a vaccine can normally take up to 10 years?
Well, the duration of 10 years is also bureaucratic. It does not have to take that. In an emergency situation, you can fast track, if we have seen here. If you want it to be done, it can be done with support, and that's what happened in the case of Ebola.
Okay, so the test pool that this vaccine was tested on. Now, as I understand it, when it was first rolled out, I mean, the cases were already dropping. So how do you test the efficiency of a vaccine when your test pool is decreasing? Well,
this particular study was unique in the sense that it used a ring vaccination strategy, and that is working with the contacts, direct and secondary contacts of the index cases. That's the person who became infected. What that ring practically did was not only protected those who were contacts of that patient, but also protected the rest of the population. There was a barrier between that person and the population. Okay. So in that regard, go ahead. Sorry,
I was just going to very quickly say, I mean, we always hear about the mutation of viruses, and I'm just wondering if this is a risk when you're developing a vaccine, because the Norwegian foreign minister has described this as a silver bullet. Is this too soon for him to be saying this?
It is too soon. From a scientific perspective, one would not go that far at this point in time in calling it a silver bullet. But the potential is there, and we are moving in the right direction.
Okay, Professor Rossi Hassad, it's been fantastic talking to you. Thank you.